Changes are on the way this weekend as a cool front and weather pattern change arrive, bringing the chance of thunderstorms, increased winds, some cooler weather, and high wildfire danger. Let's talk about it in this Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Good morning. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. It is Thursday, the 16th of October, 2025. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to pop on in for some Texas weather information. We definitely appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Here's the high-res rapid refresh model simulated weather radar and satellite imagery cloud cover heading through today, tonight, into Friday and Friday night. Now, heading into tonight, tomorrow morning, we may see some storms along the upper Texas Gulf Coast, southeast Texas, with some dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning, gusty winds, locally heavy rainfall. Biggest hazard will most definitely be the lightning. So when thunder roars, it's time to get your keister indoors. Otherwise, for the rest of you near the coast, you may have a nice lightning show off into the Gulf tonight. Heading into Friday afternoon and evening, we are expecting the possibility of showers to increase across the Panhandle, West Texas, the Permian Basin, into parts of the Big Bend. Now, most of this activity will remain pretty light, but we will definitely see an uptick in activity heading into the overnight Friday, as my voice goes, into Saturday morning. A couple strong storms possible Friday afternoon, evening along the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma state line. They're near Shamrock on I-40, but a majority of that activity does look like it's going to be in the state of Oklahoma. Wildfire danger the next few days. We're generally looking at moderate to high fire danger across a decent chunk of the state. Western half of the state is looking low in these graphics, but the overall fuel space out in western Texas is a bit different than the fuel model used for these graphics at the moment. So fire danger out west definitely does remain on the higher side as well. And we've seen that over the last few days with fires in parts of central Texas, the hill country, up into the big country. Heading into the longer range, here's a look at the upper level jet stream over the next few days from the European Weather Model Ensemble. We are expecting our area of high pressure aloft that is over the state right now to begin shifting farther south and east heading into the weekend and next week. And that's going to allow the jet stream to start dipping farther south and bring the chance for some cooler weather into the state as a cool front moves across the state on Saturday, some cooler weather on Sunday, quick warm up on Monday and Tuesday before another cool front with northwesterly flow aloft behind another upper level storm system begins moving into the state on Tuesday and Wednesday. You can see for the most part the strongest area of upper level winds will remain north of Texas, with quite a bit of amplification of those upper level troughs as they move across the Midwest and northeastern United States. In terms of what that means for us, well, on Saturday, as our first cool front shifts southeast across the state, we're going to be on the southern periphery of what could be a severe weather day across parts of the mid-south of the United States. We do have a risk of isolated strong to severe thunderstorms Saturday afternoon and evening across eastern North Texas, eastern Texoma, northeast Texas, the Arklatex, and East Texas, with the potential of the strongest storms to produce localized damage in wind gusts and hail. At this point, the overall tornado threat looks very, very low. I'm not going to say zero because that would be a challenge to Mother Nature, and that's never a good idea to challenge Mother Nature. Notice this does not look like it's going to be a big-time SpaghettiOs sort of an event for us in Texas. But again, if we have one nasty rogue storm roll through the state and it happens to come down your street on Saturday, it's going to be a big deal to you. So we'll keep a close eye on things, but this does not look like one of these upper echelon type events where we're going to be doing tornado coverage for hours on end. Knock on wood, hopefully we're not doing any tornado coverage at all for the state of Texas on Saturday. Especially since I'm beginning the moving process, I'm going to have moving people in an apartment. Isn't that great? So let's go back. Take a look at the European weather model going through the weekend. Now, as this loop replays, we are going to see several days of quiet weather after Saturday into Sunday morning. You can see we're not really looking at any sort of rain, maybe a little bit of shower activity on Tuesday as our next cool front moves southeast. But otherwise, the best opportunity for rain across the state will be tomorrow night into Saturday, and that's going to be confined to parts of northeast Texas and east Texas, with some scattered thunderstorms expected. Otherwise, quick warm up on Sunday and Monday, and then we have another cool front come on in Tuesday and Wednesday. And let me be clear, when I say cool front, we're just talking about temperatures in the daytime getting knocked back down to kind of where they should be for mid-October. So, 70s and 80s versus 90s. We're not talking about one of these crashy, the cold front, 50-mile-an-hour north winds, temperatures going down to the 30s. At least not yet. In terms of forecast rain totals over the next 5 days from the Weather Prediction Center, here's through 7 a.m. Tuesday. You can see best opportunity for at least a 10 to a quarter inch of rain will be northeast Texas and the Arklatex, east Texas, the Piney Woods of East Texas, the Toledo Bend Reservoir down into the Golden Triangle, well east of Interstate 45. Maybe up to a tenth of an inch locally in southeast Texas tomorrow from those storms near the coast, and then out across the Panhandle, West Texas, into the Big Bend. But even then, you can see rain totals on at least a regional to multi-county basis not expected to be over 1/10 of an inch of rain. So much of the state will remain dry, unfortunately, for the next 5 days. Temperatures this afternoon, we're looking at highs mostly in the 80s and 90s across Texas. Warmest spots today actually look to be the Big Country, East Texas, and South Texas, with highs in the low to mid-90s. Going into Friday, a little less hot up in the Panhandle and the borderland of West Texas, with highs in the upper 70s. Everyone else, we're still in the upper 80s to middle 90s. On Saturday, we're going to have some compressional heating occur ahead of that cool front. Winds are going to come up a bit, and with that, we're going to see temperatures much more in the 90s to even upper 90s across the eastern 75% of Texas. We're looking at 93 in Fort Worth, 94 in Austin and San Antonio, about 90 degrees in my upcoming home of Fredericksburg, Texas, 91 in Houston, 96 in Laredo and McAllen, 94 up in Del Rio, 78 in Amarillo, 85 in Lubbock, and 79 in El Paso. On Sunday, we'll see a decent cool-off, highs mostly in the 70s across the northern third of Texas, low 80s northern half of the state, but we're still holding firm in the 90s across the southern half of Texas. And then on Monday, 90s are back up north in the Big Country with a quick warm-up. We're all back in the upper 80s and 90s before our next cool front arrives heading into Tuesday and Wednesday. And again, at this point, that does not look like it's going to bring much of any precipitation to the state of Texas. So we'll have to keep an eye out for some gustier winds, wind shifts, which will play a role in wildfire danger over the next week. Climate Prediction Center temperature outlook for the 21st through 25th of October. Above average temperatures across the state of Texas, with precipitation chances near average for a good chunk of the state. So most of us are in a flash drought now, and by that, it just means we had a decent amount of rain back over the early summer, and then the faucet shut off, and now some areas like Austin haven't had rain in nearly 40 days, which means grasses have gone dormant quickly, everything has dried out very quickly, and with these above-average temperatures, that has allowed grasses' surface to go dormant, and even though many of the lakes may still be in good shape, the wildfire danger is really what defines a flash drought. We're going from 0 to pretty high in quick fashion here. So the fire danger will continue to rise pretty noticeably over the next week. We're going to have more initial attack activity and even the potential for some of these fires to become multi-day issues. So we'll have to keep a very close eye on it. And that's why the State Forest Service has already augmented their local resources with hundreds of additional firefighters and apparatus, including aerial assets. And those are responding on these fires quickly to help keep them small and in the initial attack phase. So that's going to be it for your Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. We appreciate you popping on in. If you enjoyed the video, or at least the content in the fashion it was delivered, click that thumbs up and shoot us a comment down below. Let us know where you're watching from today. And as always, you can get your local weather information, your local weather forecast, no matter where you are in the United States, with the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. Y'all have an amazing Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. As always, God bless.